All right, welcome Turtle Riders to 2019 special Turtleboy Live selection Ratchet Madness selection show special. You got all that? All right, so just a reminder, this is kind of like in lieu of the live show. All right, for this week, and we will be doing our big, obviously, reveal tonight that I'm sure a lot of you guys are very excited for, and. We have with us tonight North Shore Turtle Babe as a special guest. How you doing, North Shore?
I'm fantastic, thank you.
Welcome. You ready for this?
I am. I'm so ready. Let's go.
I know. All right, so just a reminder, guys, this episode is brought to you by our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. If you're in the mood for you might notice I'm no longer in the garage. I've upgraded to the basement. So I don't know if we're calling this the Late Night Basement Podcast. I figured some better lighting, whatever. I could sit at an actual table, whatever, because this is a special show. So, so if you're in the mood for or in the market for a garage door, right? If you have one of those old rickety garage doors that you have to get out of the car and open it up like a moron, it's time to get with the times, right? They can actually convert pretty much any storage space into a garage with like a button you press, and then the thing goes up, thing goes down. They'll come over your place that day. They'll give you a quote that's so fair, it's going to blow your mind. You're going to hire him on the spot. He's going to get it done that day, and you're going to thank me later. All right, you can find him online at gdplus.com. Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. Only the best. All right, so what I would ask you guys to do, and I'm going to go ahead and do it right now myself, right, is take a link to this, right? And I don't know if Bristol's out there listening to. Could you, if she is, could you just go, or secretary, whoever, could you go ahead and share this link on on the TB News page? I'm going to go ahead and share it on Clarence right now. And if you guys could do that, and then we can get the show started. Let people know, we live or whatever. Oh, we still got to do roll call in one moment too. We can't have a show without roll call, right? I want to let the kind of audience stream in here. So, while I'm doing that, if you guys, want to share it and whatever, we'll get roll call started. So let us know where you repping right now in the comments. Where you watching Turtleboy Live from tonight? Looks like people are starting to stroll in. We got people tuning in from North Reading is in the house. Where else? Charlton's in the house. Gardner's in the house. I'm going to read these all in a moment. Turtleboy Ratchet Madness selection show is live. Turtleboy Ratchet Madness selection show starts now. All right. Eventually that will load. Having some FUPA computers. All right. So hopefully we're still with us. That's good. All right, let's see where people are watching from tonight. We got Charlton, Gardner, Danvers, New Braintree, Framingham, Norton, Marshfield, Hubbardston, Tucson, Arizona. We got, let me share this. Yeah, Kingston's in the house, Belchertown, another Danvers, Alpine, Texas. I think that might be a new one. Vermont is in the house. Fall River's in the house. Woonsocket, Jacksonville, Vermont, Weymouth, Amherst. That's a new one. We never get Amherst Turtle Riders. Rochester, New Hampshire, home of Tony DeYoung and Dawson Boston, one of whom might make the list tonight. Conway, New Hampshire's in the house. White Horse Beach in Manamet. Where else are we at? Green Hills in the house. Lewiston, Maine. Arlington. UPS, Shrewsbury. All right. Beverly's in the house. Lunenburg's in the house. South Carolina. Bevtown. Worcester's in the house. Somerville. Colerain's in the house, of course. Colerain Willie's here. Brockton's in the house. Whitman's in the house. Illinois is in the house. All right, so I think Illinois people are going to be happy with the bracket tonight, I'm pretty sure. So we are going to get this party started. So before we do, North Shore, who are your predictions for the 1 seeds? Any guesses?
For the 1 seed?
Yeah.
I want to say Franklin's up there.
Franklin's going to be up there? Okay. Well, he's a popular choice. And by the way, there should be a link to the store, guys, in your live stream at the top. If you like what we do and you want to support what we do, we could greatly appreciate it. As you guys know, I'm being sued by Aaron Hernandez's lawyer. He's representing the Dartmouth Yoga Poon. It's extremely time-consuming, etc. We're constantly dealing with shit like this, and we cannot do it without your support. So if you want to donate, we do accept donations, or you can get yourself some gear at the Turtleboy store. The link's right in it. We're selling Turtleboy Ratchet Madness shirts. Get yours today. It's going to be fresh to death, I promise. I'm wearing this right now. You get this. You get the MAGA hats. You can get whatever you want in the Turtleboy store. All right. So we got some P-Town in the house. That's a new one. All right. Ashland's in the house. Town's in the house. Let's get this party started, shall we? All right. Here we go. Without further ado, let's get it started. All right, welcome to the Riders, to the Turtleboy Live Ratchet Madness Selection Show 2019. Field of 68 Ratchets was not easy to come up with, but we've narrowed it down. We will be having 8 16-team seeds who will play each other in a playing game for the right to play a 1 seed. Our first matchup features a man who decided to take a police detail off a cop car, brag about it on Facebook, said terrible things about the police, and then pretended to be a victim. He is... Hold on. He is... Who is he? Toast Malone is his name, folks. Toast Malone. Toast Malone will be facing a group of individuals who stole a woman's cat from Cumberland Farms, threw it into the woods while live streaming it all on Facebook and using the N-word grotesquely, even though all of them were white. They are the Wigtacular West Warwick Maggots. Next up, a Ratchet who done gone mainstream. He is now an elected official in Worcester, despite being a recovering junkie who had to campaign on his bike because he didn't have a license. Now he is trying to teach children how to cup each other's balls and calls it sex ed. He is Dante Comparetto. He will be facing a woman who fancies herself an artist because she goes around taking pictures of young girls while dressing them up as hookers. She is Meg Baton from Meg Baton Photography. The next 16 matchup will feature a group of individuals who saw the Patriots win a Super Bowl and decided, I'm going to ruin this for children everywhere by getting in a fight and then coming on Turtleboy Live to defend my Ratchet Mother's honor. They are the Charleston Parade Hardos. Charlestown Parade Hardos. And they will be facing off with a group of individuals from Taunton, most famous for electing to get a goat high on marijuana. They are the Taunton Tonsil Ticklers. Next up, in the final play-in game of 16 seeds, we have a woman from the North Shore who pretended that she was deathly ill in order to scam her own clients out of sympathy casts so that she could go to Disney World and New York City repeatedly. She is Candy Dennis. And she will be facing an albino-looking chick from Cape Cod who left her child in a car so that she could go inside during the summer, mind you, and then later went on Facebook and said, quote, you don't know the whole story, go fuck yourself. She is the Yarmouth Peroxide Pound Cake. Yeah. Next up are the 15 seeds. Our first one is a woman who considers a hot date meeting a guy online and deciding, you know what, we're going to walk around town and urinate on a veterans memorial in Somerville. And she's not going to shave her pits either. Her name is Maya Brown Jackson. So the music's too loud. I'll turn that down a little. Thank you. The next 15 seed, oh, there it is a woman, the only woman who's ever had to be the driver on her 21st birthday because, fuck it, she drives wherever she goes. She got 3 DUIs in the last year alone, including smashing into a cop car and later on being involved in a hit and run. She is the Milford Muff Murata. The next 15 seed saw a grieving family who lost their son, who drowned on a booze cruise while drunk. She lied about trying to save him. Then she lied about being a Nesson executive who could get them on the field to meet the Boston Red Sox. She is the Wilmington Sea Skag. And the final 15 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness is a restaurateur of sorts from East Boston who swears that he's not racist. However, he still felt the need to say, quote, "We need the KKK to straighten out these monkeys." But he's not racist, right? He's also the delivery bitch for the mob. We call him Henry Pills. On to the 14 seeds. All right, our first 14 seed decided that she was going to cheat on her boyfriend, who can't see her anyway because he's cross-eyed. However, she decided to go out with her ex-boyfriend and not pay for food. This backfired when the restaurant put her on blast, and she decided to go on there and defend her honor anyway. She is the Fall River Fupa Fungal. The next one up pretends to have sick babies on Facebook to get free shit, which she then sells. Meanwhile, she has 2 teenage children who are borderline adults and are both morbidly obese. And on top of that, she is banned from several yard sale pages because she once pretended to have a brain aneurysm with a GoFundMe. She is the Granite State Gravy Dumpster. The next 14 seed on our list. A woman who made a brief Turtleboy appearance, but a legendary one. When she appeared in a rush hour traffic dispute, got out of her car, and shook her tail feather like no one's ever done before. She is Ginger Gumby. And the final 14 seed. A woman who has a tendency to sell very expensive clothes online, despite being broke as shit. Right? However, the clothing often has small holes in them where a security sensor could likely fit through. Nevertheless, she claims it's not stolen and is planning on suing Turtleboy Sports. She is the Woburn Jizz Wizard. Next up are the 13 seeds. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Our first 13 is a legend of sorts. I would not recommend dating him because he will take you to a bar, hit on the bartender, then tell you he's going to the ATM, and never come back, leaving you to do the chew and screw with him. Then he will complain about his ex-wife, even though his child has a restraining order against him, because he sells crack cocaine. He is Mark Prince. Next up for the 13 seeds, we have a gentleman who shows that just because you know how to barbecue in your backyard does not mean you are fit to run a business. He lost his business this summer because he texted a 15-year-old and said, quote, "Fuck you, you're done. I thought Griffin was the worst, but you are. Fuck you. He is the Plymouth Pickle Puffer." Next up, for the 13 seats, we have two women, one of whom forgot her pills in Peabody. The police found them and found out that she had warrants on her. Called her hoping she would be dumb enough to come and pick them up, which she was. However, she also brought a friend with her who was smashed, and then smashed into a dispatcher's car when fleeing to the liquor store down the street. They are Thelma and Sleaze. And our final 13 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness 2019, a woman who has been here in this country for over 20 years, illegally living the high life, until one fateful night when she got so triggered at a restaurant by a red hat with white lettering, much like this, and she decided to assault a complete stranger, leading to her being arrested by ICE after proclaiming to be the real victim. She is Fupacho Grande. And now for the 12 seats. I love the North Shore giggles in the background. Those make it the best. You liking it so far? You like the field so far, North Shore?
Oh, this is fantastic. I'm sitting here eating my dinner while you're going on and on and trying not to choke.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get better. We're only getting better from here. More ratchets. So we're down to the 12 seeds now. Our first 12 seed. You can find her on such established websites as Pornhub. She'll often be getting drilled in public, and you may recognize her from getting plowed on the picnic table where your children just had a birthday party. She is a former teacher and is now a BBC connoisseur. She is the Ashland State Park porridge pumper. Next up, we have the most notorious, evil, twisted woman to ever come out of Cape Cod, and that's saying something. She saw grieving families and decided, I'm going to scam them by pretending to raise money for them and then never giving them the money. After getting out of jail, she was sentenced to do community service, and now she's claiming she can't do it because she's injured. She is evil Gina Clark. The next 12 seed. A woman who decided to go on Facebook and sell her Nintendo Wii. However, she forgot to take the discarded heroin needle out of the background. Oops! Right. She also has a ratchet boyfriend who oddly resembles a broom. And, of course, DCF done stole her kids. She is the girthy gastropod. And the final 12 seed are two individuals who decided to go to Dudley and do a chew and screw. They were immediately identified by half of Southern Worcester County because she rides the pole at Mario's showplace. A week later, he was arrested for kicking the shit out of her, and then she later accused me of getting a lap dance from her, which I would never do because I don't want to get AIDS. She is, and he is, the fuzzy grape fellatio bandits. On to the 11 seeds. Here we go. The first 11 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness 2019. A man who hit and killed an elderly guy in Boston. And then when they tracked him down, he elected to go on camera and say, quote, real quote, "People hit and run people all the time. I'm a real gangster, but not in a bad way. He is the Boston hit-and-run Houdini. Next up, a woman who is an international drug mule of sorts and a lesbian, but that's okay. However, she pretended to be the victim of a hate crime at a bar in Malden after allegedly kissing her girlfriend, who turned out to be heterosexual. She also had no bruises, but has multiple DUIs under her belt. She is the Malden Muff Buffer. The next 11 seed gave it a shot at a singing career on YouTube, but it didn't go very well. When that didn't pan out, she decided to go full-time GoFundMe queen. She pretends to be sick, gets kicked out of various hospitals in Rhode Island, and had began a fundraiser on Facebook to sue Turtleboy for blogging about her. She is Failure Swift. And the final 11 seed, a woman who killed a tow truck driver on I-495. And although it might have been accidental and the charges against her were dropped, she never said sorry to the family and instead elected to go on Facebook and write, "Can't touch this." She is the Can't Touch This killer. Next up, the 10 seeds. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Our first 10 seed, much like Dante Comparetto, is a ratchet in a suit. Advertised as the new, fresh young face of the Democratic Party. The youngest mayor in modern history. Who also has a tendency to steal money from investors, get arrested by the feds, and once accidentally, while defending himself, put his Tinder account out there, even though he's got a smoking hot girlfriend who's going to dump him when he goes to federal prison. He is Juicy. Oh, that's not him. Where'd he go? There he is. Juicy Jaisal Correa. Next up, for the 10 seeds, we have a woman who pretends to be a lawyer, harasses the Boston police nonstop when they come to her high crime neighborhood, claims that she runs the projects and gave her children away to her mother so that she could get stuffed by half of Roxbury. She is Fiend Laquifa. Oops. The next 10 seed, a gentleman who has made many appearances on Turtleboy in the past. He was having an affair with, even though he was married. And this affair became undone when the woman who he was cheating with ended up cheating on him. We know this because he famously authored an After David and then refused to give up his position as a selectman until he had no choice. He is Eddie Porkchops. And then the final 10 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness, a woman who North Shore Turtle Babe first wrote about 2 years ago after getting in a brawl on Meth Mile. She's the only person to ever be kicked out of the NICU for nodding off. She comes from a proud tradition of ratchets and scumfuckery. And she was recently stabbed by her new lesbian girlfriend after stealing from a store and then wanted the stolen goods back from the Marshfield police because she produced a receipt that she found on the ground. She is the Lesbo Cheese Hog, Shannon DeBartolomeo. On to the 9 seeds. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere, folks. Our first 9 seed went on the Brockton Hub a couple days before school started and asked a bunch of strangers to give her niece back to school clothing. Except it wasn't her niece, and she then takes the clothing that's donated to her and sells it. She has a crazy child who is a rapper and out of control, and she blames the kid's teachers for disciplining him. She also illegally wiretapped a lawyer giving her a free consultation while live streaming to see if she could sue Turtleboy Sports. She is Stretch Marks Sanchez. Next up, we have some gentlemen who masquerade as law-abiding, contributing members of society until they go to their children's hockey games, in which case they turn into complete animals, get kicked out, and force the referees to end the game early. They are the Connecticut Pimple Dick Hockey Dads. Next up, we stumbled upon this crew when the youngest in the family parked in a handicap spot in Attleboro illegally. Her brother came onto our Facebook page to defend her honor and insisted that it's okay for able-bodied adults to park in handicap spots. Her other brother came on Turtleboy Sports Live to explain why it wasn't a big deal that him and three friends robbed an elderly man for drug money. They are the Frigon family. And the final 9 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness has quite the resume. She once went through the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot with a needle in her arm and a child in the back seat. She's known to buy food stamps on Facebook and shit on deceased Yarmouth police officer Sean Gannon shortly after he died. However, she proudly shares her DCF certificate of attendance, and one day she hopes to get her kids back. She is the Hyannis Hog Gobbler. On to the 8 seeds, folks. We're halfway done, North Shore. How do you like the field so far?
Oh man, I'm so pumped. Keep going.
Yes, that's the plan. So, it only gets better from here, folks. Our first 8 seed up, a woman who had a child with some guy whose name is probably Shane, and then dumped him to go full hood rat and date a much older guy who can provide her with crack cocaine. However, he likely calls her, bitch, get in the car, and they were arrested together for selling drugs. She then went on Facebook to defend his honor before coming on the live show to do the same. She is Crack Fiend Barbie. The next 8 seed is a gentleman who just so happened to find a fully functional cell phone of a dead man who had been missing for 2 weeks. In the snow, mind you. He then bragged about finding it, said God sent him there, and went on Western Mass News and gave possibly the most incriminating interview of all time. He is Didn't Do Nothing, Dante Pagan. The next 8 seed up is a mother whose crotch fruit is 9 years old, but smokes blunts like a chimney, and does so on Facebook Live and Instagram. And mom seems to not give a fuck. She is Slumdog Chillionaire's mama. And the final 8 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness, a woman who only made a brief appearance on Turtleboy once. Her philosophy in life is when you gotta go, and she means it. Because she made her debut on Turtleboy when she was seen dropping a deuce on the highway Her husband later threatened to sue us, but we're still waiting on the paperwork. She is the I-93 Poopa. Time for the 7 seeds, folks. Here we go. Our first 7 seed in the 2019 Turtleboy Ratchet Madness selection show. A gentleman who was on Turtleboy Live not too long ago after posting on Facebook that he was planning on killing President Trump. Not a good idea when you're a heroin dealer. Right. Also, he threatened to kill me on live while also being reduced to tears because I made him cry. First time that's ever happened. He is the Pube Face Killer. Dawson, Boston. Next one up. Your run-of-the-mill junkie from Attleboro, which might be more Attleboros on this Ratchet Madness than any other place. She was seen once again buying and selling clothes on Facebook. It was very suspicious, and once people started asking her about it, her caps lock button mysteriously broke. She has a million different jobs because she's fucking insane. She is the Attleboro Foreskin Cowboy. Next up, a couple local junkies from Agawam who this last summer decided we do a lot of GoFundMe scams, but you know what we've never done? A religious one. So they went and they made one and said that they were going to travel around the world spreading the word of God. But in reality, they were only going to be spreading venereal diseases. They are Pastor Pole Polisher and Deacon Diddler. And the final 7 seed, a woman who just a couple weeks before Christmas decided she was going to start a $10,000 Christmas GoFundMe because allegedly her boyfriend took $9,000 in cash, which was in a backpack, and she had no way of reaching him. She ended up having a merrier Christmas than all of us. She is the West Springfield Recovery Mom. On to the 6 seeds. Here we go. Our first 6 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness made a rather brief appearance. She made a rather brief appearance on Turtleboy, but was memorable after being seen on the highly respected website Boston World Star because she volunteered to have her ass eaten out by some slug pump to get drug money. She is the MBTA Acida. Next up, if you work for National Grid, you might want to keep an eye on her because she recently got out of jail and she's thirsty for the cock. But watch out. If it's not big enough, she might electrocute you at the Hotel Vernon. She is Felicio Fernandez. Next up for the 6 seeds, a woman who might have gained the crown of the most racist woman in America on a typical Friday night, trying to buy her kids bologna sandwich dinner. She ended up calling half of Southern Connecticut the N-word, then proceeded, after spitting on a black woman, to go outside and call 911, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and repeatedly admit to calling these people the N-word. She is Mama Thunder Twat. And the final 6 seed, the final one, is a woman, a man and a woman, a little couple here, who decided to drive around in a car, smoking blunts, drinking booze, live streaming it all, with a sleeping baby right next to them. It turns out these slug pumps also posted on Facebook images of her getting eaten out by him And her official motto in life is, quote, "Don't hit me up unless you trying to fuck." They are the gelatinous Grundlequeef in welfare, Nacho Libre. On to the 5 seeds. We're getting closer, folks. We're getting closer. Here we go. Our first 5 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness 2019 is the oldest 32-year-old in world history. She's a junkie who likes to harass the New Bedford police and threaten to kill them because they have the audacity to question her about why she's loitering in a Walgreens parking lot. DCF then took her kids. She has to beg for sex. And she claims to currently be suing Turtleboy Sports. She is the Freetown Fat Weasel. Next one up of the 5 seeds. 2 individuals who tried to be heroes and claimed that they found the Red Sox AL East Championship banner on the highway. Except instead of giving it back, they held it for ransom because, let's be honest, they stole it in the first place. They then went on to do some of the most hilarious interviews in television history. They are the Malden Meth Puppets. Next up, a woman who decided, I'm going to go out and bet on the Patriots today at Twin River Casino. Except she ran into her kryptonite. Brazilian teenagers who she elected to tell to go back to Mexico. Even though that doesn't make any sense at all. She then threatened to fight them because she's a little chick from Warwack. We call her the Queefog Leprechaun. And the final 5 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness 2019. A woman who went on Facebook to brag about getting free tickets to the Mystic Aquarium because she's on EBT. She could easily be mistaken for an exhibit at the Mystic Aquarium. She has no kids, is perfectly capable of working, and gets EBT anyway. Her and her ratchet friends then came onto our Facebook page and left some of the most ratchet comments of all time. She is the Beluga Beefcake. Woo! Yeah, North Shore. Yeah, I love it. On to the 4 seeds. Do you know? Have you seen the list? Oh, I think you've seen the list already, haven't you, North Shore?
I have, but I didn't keep it this far down, actually. So
Okay, cool.
A surprise.
Okay. Here we go. Time to go down. Here we go. Our first 4 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness. We're getting good close, folks. We got 16 left. He's a real evil, twisted piece of shit. He made his first and only debut on Turtleboy Sports for doing something truly vile. Decapitating a turtle on YouTube. He is the Fitchburg Fupa Fungus. Next up, a woman who may have set the 2019 record for most appearances on Turtleboy. Because the story got better every time. She has blown half of Rockland and thrown away what was once a potentially blossoming political career. She is the one, the only Bobbin for boners. The next 4 seed up, a gentleman who needs no introduction, a true piece of shit, who came on Turtleboy multiple times on our live show and embarrassed himself even further. Brett fucked his dead grandmother, allegedly, after he went on television and tried to raise money for his girlfriend who had cancer. She then broke up with him and he pocketed the cash. He is Vanilla Lice. And the final 4 seed. A woman. I love how people are guessing when I do the introductions. I love watching them come in and see if you guys get them right. The final 4 seed. A woman who years ago hit and killed a woman on Cape Cod. Then asked to go smoke a cigarette during her arraignment and ran to Mashpee, where they found her ass. She went to jail, got out, got knocked up twice, and developed a nasty heroin habit. Then this past summer, she was on the run again before we found her on Meth Mile in Boston, 8 months pregnant, doing the zombie junkie jam. She is Fleastone Light. Time for the 3 seeds. Here we go, folks. 12 to go. I'm excited. Hope you are too. Our first 3 seed is a real brick house. Do not, however, park your car in front of her parents' house. She is so Bristol, Connecticut, it hurts. And she, despite weighing 3 times the size of her own mother, who she destroyed on video, trying to assault a gentleman who parked legally in front of her house on a public street. She then threw a bottle at his truck and had to be taken away after being masked by the police. She is Hurricane Beefaroni. You like that one, huh? Yeah. Oh, did you snort? Come on. All right. Next up, for the 3 seed, are 3 lovely young ladies who ruined a good time for everyone by offering to give Providence police officers undercover blowjobs for cash. One of them was previously arrested for leaving her child in a car on a 28-degree day while she went inside and shopped for sex toys with her boyfriend. The other one got a Boston cop to pay her and her friend $2,500 for sex, and she rewarded him by stealing his gun. She then agreed to go out on a date with me for just $500. So she hasn't learned shit. They are the Foxy Lady Strippers. The next 3 seed, a real degenerate lowlife who has a tendency to beat the shit out of women because he's a big pussy. And because he can't keep his big mouth shut, he likely got an innocent woman killed who was caught up in his bullshit. Nevertheless, he went on television, played the victim, and started a GoFundMe without her family's consent, even though he was not even invited to the funeral. He was later luckily arrested on non-murder charges. He is Juicin' Jeremy Winslow. And the final 3 seed, the final one, is a guy who can't get a woman his own age, despite his burgeoning rap career in the Ocean State. Perhaps it's because his ideal girlfriend is 17 and likes to be walked around the neighborhood on a leash. However, he won't be walking her anytime soon because his ass is sitting in jail for child pornography. He is Jackoff Sauce. Now for the 2 seeds. Here we go. Here we go. Our first 2 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness 2019. A woman who made several appearances on Turtleboy Sports. First, she fell asleep at the park while in the middle of a bender with her 2 children. She then defended her honor on the police department's Facebook page. Didn't work though. After we blogged about her, she filed a lawsuit, she claims, against Turtleboy because she alleges that DCF instructed her to sue us. She then teamed up with the Bellingham Porridge Receptacle to post my personal information everywhere, and then capped off the week after getting dumped by her junkie boyfriend by throwing all of his garbage into the Atlantic Ocean while live streaming it. She is the New Bedford Bukkake Pound Cake. The next 2 seed up on Turtleboy Ratchet Madness. 2 individuals who bore a child together neglected her to the point where she was extremely malnourished and still wore diapers at the age of 6. Luckily, DCF done snatched her. However, they went on Dr. Phil thinking that they were the stars of the show and not the villains. They're still under the impression that they are some sort of celebrities as a result of this, and bragged about getting food delivered to their hotel room, which is still the highlight of their life. They are the Medford Meth Maggots. The next 2 seed up. A real lowlife. A real loser. Who, because he's such a small and fragile individual and a drug dealer, he likes to beat the shit out of women who are weak. He also does it in front of their special needs daughter, who he's never paid $1 in child support for. And then he murdered the dog in front of the child. As a result of us reporting this, he is now suing us and teaming up with possibly the worst lawyer of all time to do so. He is Ryan Waters. And the final 2 seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness. A gentleman who went viral, which was definitely his goal, after going to a local dog park and decided to try to ruin the life of an innocent woman who happened to be white. His out-of-control pit bulls were raping her dog. She politely asked him to stop, and we fell for it, as did many others. However, it all fell apart when he came on Turtleboy Live, played the race card way too much, blamed us for not checking our white privilege, leading us to start to investigate him, and consequently, he is sitting in jail right now because he poked the turtle. He is Franklin Smollett. So we have 4 to go, guys. We're down to the 1 seeds, and I think at this point, you guys can figure who they are, process of elimination, but we're going to give them to you anyway. Here we go. This year's 1 seeds in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness. Our first 1 seed. Possibly the most fragile person who has ever existed. Who, after Turtleboy left him, he didn't know what to do with his life. He sued us for over $100,000 because we didn't elect him in an election that he dropped out of. Since then, he spent and wasted 10 months of his life flying from Texas, where he's unemployed, I guess, to Oxbridge in a lawsuit that went nowhere. Every day he wakes up thinking about me. I own his brain for eternity, including the frosted tips and the brain of his mistress and his dumpy ginger wife. He is Milky Mike Gaffney. The next number 1 seed. was in a race with Bobbin for boners for most blogged about person on Turtleboy 2019. She fooled a lot of people, but she didn't fool us by pretending to be offended by a harmless Me Too joke at a beauty pageant because she knew she had lost the pageant already. Since then, we have exposed her time and time again for being a pathological liar, including when she was called out by multiple ultra marathons for cheating on the course. She will never stop doing this either. She is the one, the only Maud, the fraud. Gorman. The next number one seed in Ratchet Madness. An individual who thought that we were going to help him because he is a pathological liar and likes to victimize himself. He kidnapped his child from Illinois, brought him to Weymouth illegally, then smeared his wife in front of tens of thousands of gullible, stupid women from across the country, raised over $50,000 off of these morons, and will not go back to Illinois to get his son, who he pretends to love, because he's not willing to sit in a jail cell for a little bit in order to do so. He is Michael Cadena. And the final number one seed in Turtleboy Ratchet Madness 2019. A guy who, let's be honest, just doesn't want to pay for food because he's a professional fat ass. He has pretended to be some sort of food connoisseur because he's got a Facebook group. And he uses this group to smear and extort money from legitimate local businesses. He has been caught stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from an autism charity. He does not pay any child support, which is why he once went to jail for that. He gives away gift cards on his site to himself with raffles. To himself. And he does not tip. And he demands more gift cards from every restaurant that he is already scamming from. He is Greg Master Bates. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our field of 68. It's a good one. Let's talk about it for a moment, shall we? What do you think of the field?
I'm honestly really surprised at a lot of them. I think a lot of people in the, higher seeds have a chance. Like, I'm really excited this year.
Yes.
It can go any way.
Yeah, last year it was like, the clear, it was Didi. Everybody knew Didi was going to win, but like Ali Bibo and Leah Gendusa were virtually untouched on their way up. They just murdered everyone, right? And so I want to bring up this right here. Where'd it go? Ratchet Madness 2019. There we go. Let's look at the actual bracket here so you guys can see. I don't want to see from Turtle Riders. Are you surprised? Do you think someone was underseeded? Do you think someone was overseeded? Let us know how you feel in the comments. And it's going to come up, the actual tournament bracket. Here it is. All right. So, this is how it's going to look right here. So, we have 4 brackets. The Fupa Sloth region, the Chud Stuffer region, the, what are the other ones? Grundle Queef region, I think, and the Trap Queen region, something like that. And it's a go. I mean, so you tell me who's going to win this bracket. We got Greg Bates, Toast Malone, Didn't Do Nothing Dante, Stretch Mark Sanchez, Fleastone Light, Mark Prince, the Queef Hog Leprechaun, Ashland State Porridge Pumper, Hurricane Beefaroni, Fall River Fupa Fungal, Mama Thunder Twat, Boston Hit and Run Houdini, Attleboro Foreskin Cowboy, Jason Correa, Franklin Baxley, and Maya Brown Jackson. Who do you like to come out of that one? I know it's a lot of names at once.
That is a lot of names at once. I don't even know.
I think it's going to be...
Maya seems like a good one.
That's a 15 seed. That would be a huge...
But also...
She's got Franklin in the first round. Tough one.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
You're right. I don't know. I mean, maybe Franklin, but then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm stumped, dude.
I'm with Mega Mortis. I like Hurricane Beefaroni. Very underrated Ratchet. Very underrated Ratchet. Yeah. Oh, now
my favorite video ever.
I know. I love that video. That video's gone from YouTube, I guess, but the screenshots are forever.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's too bad. Now the Chud Stuffer region. Now, do you guys think did we like Michael Cadena? Were people surprised he was a 1 seed? Greg Bates, stuff like that.
No.
I think a lot of people thought Franklin was going to be a 1 seed. He was close. He was right on the line. But this people are saying Franklin over Bates for a 1 seed. I think you guys are underestimating just how ratchet Greg Bates truly is. Really, I mean, he's so bad. So over here in this bracket, we got he what?
I said I think it's because it's been a while. Greg Bates was like,
You're right.
a year ago almost.
He was a summer fling. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So we got Cadena versus whoever wins that. We got the Pooper from I-93, the Hockey Parents, Vanilla Lice, Scope is in this one, the Plymouth Pickle Puffer, Beluga Beefcake, Gina Clark, Foxy Lady Strippers, the Granite State Gravy Dumpster, Felicio Fernandez against Failure Swift. That's a good matchup first round. Pastor Pole Polisher, Shannon DeBartolomeo. Remember her? You blogged about her a while back, like 2 years ago.
Oh, that was actually my come up. Blogging about those ratchets. That was my first big blog.
That was your first blog. That's right, yeah. And she's back. She messages me a lot, actually. Also, Ryan Waters is in this, and the Milford Muff Murata. I wouldn't be surprised to see Shannon Bartolomeo make a run as a 10 seed. That would be interesting.
Especially if people read up on her history, because that girl is ratchet.
Very underrated ratchet. Definitely very underrated. There's that. Then down here in this bracket, we got Gaffney, Dante, Slumdog Chillionaire Mom, the Frigon family, Bobbin for Boners, Fupacho Grande. That's a good matchup first round. The Malden Meth Puppets. Love those guys. Those guys are the best. The Fuzzy Grape Fellatio Bandits. Jackoff Sauce against Ginger Gumby. The Gelatinous Grundlequeef. Can't Touch This Killer. West Springfield Recovery Mob. Eddie Pork Chops. The Bukkake Pound Cake. And the Wilmington Sea Skag. That's a tough one, man. You know what? Michael Gaffney, I don't even know if I want him to win. Because I feel like, I don't know, like, do you think Gaffney...
I don't think he will.
You don't think so? Yeah. Because he's like...
No, I don't even think he's going to make it very far, to be honest with you, because he's just he contends every year. Like, Mike Gaffney will always be around.
Yeah. Like, I feel like Slumdog Chillionaire Mom could jump in there, maybe. He would have Bobbin for Boners. She'll
make it far, I think. Only because she's recent and it's so appalling that I think she'll make it pretty far.
Okay, that's a possibility, definitely. And then in the final bracket over here, we have, this is the Maud Gorman region. We have Maud the Fraud, the Yarmouth Peroxide Pound Cake, the Crack Fiend Barbie, Hyannis Hog Gobbler, Fitchburg Fupa Fungus, Thelma and Sleaze, the Freetown Fap Weasel, Girthy Gastropod, Juice and Jeremy, the Woburn Jizz Wizard, the MBTA Ass Eater versus the Malden Muff Buffer. These are great matchups. The Pube Face Killer, Fiend Laquifa, the Medford Meth Maggots, and Robert Ciampi, a.k.a. Henry Pills. That guy was fucking so racist. It was great. Not great, but you know what I mean. Yeah. I don't know who comes out of this one. I almost want to say the Medford Meth Maggots because they're so...
I think so, too.
They're so ratchet, those two. They went
oh, my God. That chick is like 32, 33, and she looks like she's 60. Like, it's crazy.
My favorite part about them is how they were ordering like room service, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna get French toast and shit." Like, fucking, we're living a life.
Right?
What you want, girl? You can get anything you want.
$9 smoothie.
Yeah, $9 smoothie. We're living a life, girl. Like, they really thought they were going on Dr. Phil and being like fucking celebrities. It's like, no, you go on Dr. Phil to be publicly shamed. I guess they didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know. So, I don't know. This year, it's definitely up for grabs, man. Anyone can win. I'm really excited to see who's going to win. Who do Turtle Riders like to win the whole thing? Leave them in the comments. If Candy Dennis happened later in the year, she'd be a higher seed. Definitely possibility. Yeah, she was a good ratchet. Let's see. Do you guys think Gaffney was rated too high? That's interesting. People are saying that. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, maybe I'm just... People saying, where's the Dartmouth Yoga Poon? She was last year, man. I mean, she hasn't appeared in a blog in the last, except for the other day when Aaron Hernandez's lawyer sued me. That's the only one. And he, by the way,
great anyway.
Yeah, I mean, she was pretty ratchet, man. She was very ratchet.
I mean, but she's just like there. Like
Yeah.
she didn't do anything particularly ratchet except for like suck a ancient shrivel shrimp, but like
Yeah,
that was it.
Besides that, and now we put a poll question up the other day. Do you guys think that do you agree that with the statement that Western Mass Turtle Girl put that she is basically a prostitute for sleeping with an elderly man, and it was like 97 or 98% yes. So I hope attorney George saw that, because that's all you need in court. I mean, that's what we got, George. It's like the people agree with that opinion. That is a mainstream opinion at this time. You are allowed to hold mainstream opinions, even if the Dartmouth Yoga Poon doesn't agree with it. So it is what it is, George. Sorry, buddy. Bad news for you. So people are saying, go ahead. Did I interrupt you? My bad.
No.
Okay. So people are saying in the comments, everyone's like a mod in the comments, and Franklin. What else are people saying here? Mass Health Martinez. I mean, I didn't even know Mass Health Martinez's name. She was just a chick in Lawrence who fought on a bridge. I didn't even know her fucking name. So we couldn't put her in it, you know? Ryan, people are saying Scopa, the Frigon family. Frigon family is a 9 seed, so that would be a tough one. Thunder Twat's a good one. Maud and Franklin, everyone's saying the Warwhack. The Warwhack Queefog is facing, in the first round, the Ashland State Porridge Park Pumper, and they would get the winner of Fleastone Light and Mark Prince. So that could be an interesting one.
Mark Prince is pretty ratchet.
Yeah, I feel like he's...
But the Warwhack Fog, I don't know.
Yeah,
those Brazilian Mexicans, you know?
Angry little... Yeah, no. Angry little leprechaun, huh? Oh, she was angry, you know? Yeah, I can email these... for people that want to do the brackets on their own, send an email to turtleboysports@gmail.com, and I will send you a copy, your very own copy. You can fill it out and play along at home. It's going to be a good tournament. Yeah. So, anyway. All right, any questions or anything, guys, before we call it a show? I really enjoyed this show. I'm really looking forward to this. I don't know what day it's going to start next week because we got to do the playing games. And then we're going to start with the first bracket, which will be the Fupa Sloth region. So it'll be these 8 matchups. Greg Bates versus the winner of Toast Malone and the Wigtacular West Warwick Maggots and so forth. So that'll be our first day. So we're going to go 8 one day, and then these 8, and then these 8, and then these 8. All right? Then we'll take a few days off. We'll do the next round. So this takes a little bit, but it's fun. It's like everybody's favorite time of the year, Ratchet Madness. Turtleboysports@gmail.com. I know, it's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be awesome. So, anyway, I guess that's it. Where am I emailing? Turtleboysports@gmail.com, and I will email you back a blank bracket in a couple days. I'm going to be down in, whatchamacallit, I'm going to Brooklyn tomorrow. I'm jumping on a plane from Worcester to New York. You can do that now. And then I'm coming back tomorrow night. That's pretty cool, to go to the Celtics game. So, they won tonight, so that's good. All right, anyway. Yeah, don't forget, people, hit up the Turtleboy store, hit that donation button. We love you all. We couldn't do this without you. All right, God bless you all. God bless Turtleboy Ratchet Madness, and we out. Peace, Turtle Riders.
Bye.